Libra, get ready for upcoming news that will change your weekend. Your cell phone is going to ring. Either a message will arrive, or an email, or someone will show up at your door, and what that person will tell you, what you will read, what you will discover, will completely change the plans you had for the next few days. And I'm not talking about small changes. I'm not talking about adjusting schedules or swapping one appointment for another. I'm talking about news that rewrites the entire weekend, that cancels what you planned, that creates urgency where there was calm, that sets you in motion when you're about to rest. And you're already feeling it, aren't you? That strange feeling, like something is coming, like the air is different, like the universe is preparing for impact without telling you exactly what, and you can't name it, you can't pinpoint it, but you know in the way Libra always knows, through an imbalance that hasn't yet manifested but is already affecting your internal balance. And the news can come from many directions. It can come from someone you love. It can come from someone you know but don't expect to hear from. It can come from someone you don't even remember exists in your life, but who suddenly returns with information that can't be ignored. And the content will be something that demands a response, something that demands action, something you can't simply save for Monday. But before I tell you specifically what it might be, let me prepare you for how you'll react. Because Libra has a specific way of processing news. You don't react immediately. You don't explode. You don't act on impulse. You stop. You weigh things up. You consider. You look at it from all angles before deciding what to do. And that's strength. But it can also be a trap, because some news demands speed. Some news doesn't allow you the luxury of endless deliberation. And this is one of them. So you're going to have to do something that's not natural for you. Decide quickly. Decide without having all the information. Decide without knowing all the consequences. And that will make you uncomfortable. It will make you question things. It will make you want more time. But time is exactly what you won't have. And now let's talk about the specific nature of the news. First possibility, it's about relationships. Someone will reach out to you. Someone who was distant, someone with whom you have a history. And this person will say something you expected or something you never imagined. It could be a confession, it could be a request, it could be a revelation, it could be an offer of reconnection, it could be the final goodbye. But it will be definitive. It will be a moment that closes a cycle or opens a new one. And you will have to decide that weekend, do I go into this or do I close this door? And you'll want time, you'll want to sue, you'll want to consult friends, you'll want to sleep on it, but the situation will demand a quick response, and you'll have to trust yourself in ways you're not used to. You'll have to listen to your first instinct without endless second guessing, and that will be forced growth. Second possibility, it's about a professional or financial opportunity. Someone will offer you something, a project, a job, a partnership, an investment, and the offer will be good. It will be tempting, but it will come with a deadline. It will be urgent. It will come with I need to know by Sunday. And you will have that classic Libra internal conflict. Is it too good to be true? Am I being pressured? Should I trust them? And the answer, it will have to come from within, not endless logical analysis, not pros and cons written on paper, but a visceral feeling of yes or no. And Libra, you have that feeling. You just don't trust it. You prefer to rationalize. You prefer to justify. You prefer to have clear reasons. But this time the reasons won't be so clear, and you'll have to jump even without seeing the ground. Third possibility, it's about family. Someone needs you, urgently. And it's not necessarily a life or death emergency, but it's a situation that demands your presence, your intervention, your ability to mediate, to balance, to bring harmony where there is chaos. And you will be called upon to do what you always do, be a bridge, be a diplomat, be the person everyone seeks when everything is falling apart. And you're going to want to say no. It will mean you're tired of always being the one who solves problems, of always being the one who brings peace, of always being responsible for making everyone get along. But it will be tough, and you will give in, because Libra always gives in when the family needs it, even when they should set limits, even when they should let others solve their own problems. But this time I want you to consider something. Consider that perhaps your help isn't what they truly need. Perhaps they need to learn to manage without you. Perhaps your constant availability is actually hindering their growth. And perhaps, just perhaps, saying no this time is a greater act of love than saying yes again. Fourth possibility, it's about yourself. The information what's coming isn't from the outside. It's from within. It's the result you were expecting. It's the answer you asked for. It's confirmation or denial of something you set in motion weeks or months ago. And the result will surprise you. It will be different from what you expected. And you will have to react. If it's positive, if it's a yes, if it's approved, you'll feel relief but also fear. Fear of not being ready. Fear of having to act now. Fear that life will truly change. Because Libra has a strange relationship with change. You seek it, you want it, you yearn for it. But when it arrives, you get scared. You question it. You wonder if you really want what you asked for. And if it's negative, if it's a no, if it's rejection, you'll feel relief too. Relief disguised as disappointment. Because part of you was afraid of saying yes. You were afraid of having to do something different. You were afraid of the discomfort that change brings. And that's not a bad answer, it's a different answer. It's the universe saying, it's not that, it's something else. And you're going to have to trust that there's a reason. And let me tell you something about the signs that are already happening. You've been feeling increasingly restless since the middle of the week, haven't you? Difficulty focusing, a feeling that you should be doing something but you don't know what. Checking your phone more than usual as if expecting something. Somewhat disturbed sleep. Strange dreams that you don't fully remember but that leave you with a feeling when you wake up. These aren't coincidences, they're preparations. Your nervous system already knows something is coming. It's putting you on high alert before the information arrives. And small things may have happened as well. Things that individually mean nothing but together form a pattern. A conversation that suddenly stopped midway. A person who looked at you strangely, as if they knew something you don't. A message that started and was deleted. A missed call from a number you recognize but that didn't return the call. These are signs that the news is already in motion. It's already being formulated. It's already on its way. And there's another layer to this that you need to understand. The news that's about to arrive isn't random. It's not a cosmic coincidence. It's a direct result of the choices you made months ago, of seeds you planted without realizing it, of energy you set in motion. And now it's harvest time. And harvest doesn't respect convenience. It doesn't respect plans. Harvest happens when the fruit is ripe, not when you're ready to pick it. So in a way you created this, not consciously perhaps, but through intentions, through actions, through the direction you gave to your life. And that's important to understand because it empowers you, because it means you're not a victim of random news. You are the creator of the reality that is manifesting, and if you created this, you have the capacity to respond to it. And regarding the specific way the news will get out, let me give you the details. If it's over the phone, it will be at an unexpected moment, not when you're expecting it, when you're in the middle of something else, when you're relaxed, and the person's tone of voice will tell you everything before the words. You'll sense in the high whether it's something good or something that needs attention, and you'll have seconds to shift your energy from a relaxed state to a present state. If it's by text message, it won't be a long message. It will be, "We need to talk," or "There's something I need to tell you," or "Do you have time to talk?" And you'll see those words and your stomach will clench. Because you know it's not a casual conversation. You know it's something serious, and you'll have a choice: respond immediately or wait until you're in a safe place. And the right answer depends on your state. If you're vulnerable, wait. If you're strong, respond. If it's in person, the person will show up unannounced or with a weak excuse. "I was just passing by," when they never do. "I forgot something at your house," when they didn't forget anything. And you'll feel strange. You'll sense there's a hidden reason. And there is. And the conversation will begin with circumlocutions, with beating around the bush, until finally they speak. And when they do, you'll have to control your facial reaction. Because the first reaction counts. It sets the tone for everything that comes after. And here's what you do immediately after receiving news, depending on the type. If it's good news that scares you, be grateful. Don't downplay it. Don't say, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Say, this is big for me and I need time to process it. And ask for time. Don't decide right away. Not out of fear, but out of respect for the moment, out of recognition that this is important and deserves to be handled carefully. If it's bad news that hurts you, don't react in pain. Breathe. Count to 10 internally and say, I need to process this. Can I get back to you in a few hours? And leave, physically or emotionally, because reacting in pain is reacting from a reactive place. And you'll say things you don't want to say. You'll do things you don't want to do. So you protect yourself by creating space. If it's news that requires a decision, he doesn't decide yet. He says, I understand the urgency, but I need a few hours to have clarity. And if the person pressures you, if the person says they need an answer now, that tells you something about the person. It tells you that they don't respect you enough to give you time for a conscious decision. And that's valuable information. And what to do in the space between receiving news and responding. First, you process it physically. It doesn't just stay in your head. You move, you walk, you run, you dance, anything that releases trapped energy in the body, because news creates physical tension, and physical tension distorts thought. So you release that first tension first. Then you write, not to send someone away, to clarify. You write everything you're feeling without a filter. Everything you want to say, everything you're thinking, and when you finish writing, you read. And you read not with the eyes of the writer, but with the eyes of an external observer. And you see patterns, you see fears, you see desires, you see truth beneath the emotional reaction. And then you consult your inner wisdom, you close your eyes, you breathe deeply, and you ask, what do I really want here? Not what I should do, not what others would expect, but what do I, in my truest core, want? And you wait without forcing, and the answer comes. It always comes. It may come as a word, as an image, as a feeling, but it comes. And when you have an internal answer, then you respond externally, and you respond clearly, firmly, with love, if it's a matter of love, with boundaries, if it's a matter of boundaries, but always truthfully, because this news, this situation, is a test of how much you've evolved, how much you've learned, how well you know yourself. And you pass the test not by having a perfect answer, but by having an authentic one. And now let's talk about something nobody mentions, what happens on Monday. Because the weekend will pass, the news will have been received, the decision will be made, and you will wake up on Monday in a different reality, and you will have to live in that reality. You will have to integrate what happened. You will have to move forward with the consequences of your choice. And if you chose well, if you truly chose the right place, you will feel peace, not necessarily happiness, not necessarily total relief, but peace, the peace of knowing that you were true to yourself, that you didn't betray your values, that you did the best you could with the information you had. And if you made the wrong choice, if you chose out of fear or pressure, you will feel persistent discomfort. And this discomfort, it's not punishment, it's feedback. It's your internal system saying, you need to correct this. And you can go back on Monday and say, you know that answer I gave, I need to change it. And that's not weakness, it's courage. Courage to correct course when you realize you're out of alignment. And about fear, you will feel fear. Fear of doing the wrong thing. Fear of the consequences. Fear of an uncertain future. And fear is normal. Fear is human. Fear is a sign that you care, that this matters. But fear cannot be what decides. So you feel fear, you acknowledge it, it's valid, and then you ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And the answer to that question, that's the real answer. That's what you should do. Because fear keeps you small. It keeps you safe but stagnant. And the life you want, the life you deserve, is on the other side of fear. It always is. And about regret. You're afraid of regretting it. Afraid of looking back and thinking you made the wrong decision. And I can't guarantee you won't regret it. But I can tell you there are two kinds of regret. Regret for having done it, and regret for not having done it. And the second is worse. It always is. Because if you try and it goes wrong, at least you know. You lived, you experienced it, you're not left with what ifs. But if you don't try out of fear, you're left with the ghost of an unexplored possibility, and that ghost haunts you more than any real failure. So when you have to decide, ask yourself, what will I regret less, having tried or not having tried? And it goes in that direction. Because at the end of life, that's what matters. Not successes, not achievements, but the courage to have lived fully, to have answered when called, to have entered when the door opened, even without knowing what was inside. And there's one last thing about this specific news item that's coming. She is not isolated. She is part of something bigger, part of the change that has been happening in her life for months, part of the transformation that you consciously or unconsciously initiated. The news is confirmed. It's the universe saying, yes, you are on the right track, or no, recalibrate, go this way. In any case, it's guidance. It's information you need for the next step, and you can resist. You may not like it, you may wish it were different, but it is what it is, and the faster you accept it, the faster you can act. And action is what transforms information into evolution. So when the phone rings, when the message arrives, when the news comes, you take a deep breath. You remember that you are capable. You remember that you have navigated uncertainty before. You remember that Libra was made for moments like these, for decision points, for moments where balance needs to be restored through choice. And you choose, not perfectly, not with all the information, not without fear, but you choose, because choosing, even with fear, is power. It's agency. It's you saying, I participate in my life. I am not a victim of circumstances. I am the creator of reality. And this news that's going to arrive and change the weekend, it's an opportunity disguised as an inconvenience, an opportunity for you to show yourself that you are stronger, wiser, more capable than you sometimes believe. So prepare yourself, not with anxiety, but with openness, with readiness, with confidence that you will know what to do when the moment comes. Because you always know. You just need to trust yourself as much as others trust you. And they trust. They always have. Now it's your turn to trust too.